Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody has been doing well and have had opportunities to get outside and go on some adventures. Unfortunately, in my neck of the woods, it's been raining for about 5 days, so hence why we're down here filming this review and test in the UT room. So recently, a good friend of mine and subscriber to the channel sent me this gift. This is the Horl 2 knife sharpening set. And it was a really touching gesture considering the price of this knife sharpening set. So what we're going to do today is take a look at it, and we're going to sharpen some knives, some different variations of knives. I have done a little research on this, and I have been using this for the past week, so I am a little bit familiar with it now. It's a really neat concept, and I've had some pretty good luck sharpening some knives. I will say I believe the design is focused more on sharpening kitchen knives, but we'll get into all that. I have had a little bit of success with a few outdoor knives and pocket knives as well. So without any further ado, let's take a look at it. Okay, so here is the boxing for this small package here, and comes with a quick start manual on how to set up the system, and this is the full manual. It comes in several different languages: German, French, and English. And this is a German company, by the way, Horl, I guess established in 1993. And this is the Horl 2 knife sharpening set. And so here's what comes in the set. This is the rolling pin, if you want to call it that. And let's take a look at that. So here is your diamond grit side. So this is your sharpening side. And a little bit of research on this grit is 46 UM or UP, which is a German calculation. Comparable to a US grit, diamond grit, I'm thinking about 360 grit. So pretty aggressive grit there. And then on the other side is ceramic for honing. Once you've sharpened your knife on this side, the ceramic is for honing. Put that aside. So that's the platform that it sits on. And so the way this is designed, there is 20-degree magnetic silicone on this side that your knives will attach to. Here's the bottom, and here is the 15-degree here. So the majority of my knives will be sharpened on a 20-degree angle, between 15 and 20. So a little bit limited on your angles, but pretty precise too. So just to take a quick look at that, you can see the difference there. Okay, and here are the knives that I've chosen to demonstrate sharpening. Of course, a couple of kitchen knives. One is a Henckels, a Spanish Henckels, and the other is a Wusthof. And so you'll see how this sharpening system benefits a chef knife with a flat grind, and kind of what those things are designed for. But I have had some luck with folding knives, pocket knives, and then a couple of outdoor knives. Now, I will say this: a flat grind is the most ideal grind for sharpening these knives. The blade shape on this Benchmade, I chose it to show you how it is kind of challenging to sharpening these, and then also wanted to show you the challenge and why I probably won't use this sharpening system on my Scandinavian grind knives. But it did well on the Essie. That's a saber grind, so it's close to a flat grind. And so let's set it up and show you what we're dealing with. Okay, so we're going to take one of the kitchen knives first for demonstration, as it is the best option for the system. So as you can see, the magnetic silicone, the knife just sits flat there, and it turns the blade to the angle that you want to grind this at. So basically you just take your diamond grit side, place it flat up against the blade edge, and just sharpen. Now, here's something that I want to show you guys. that may take a little bit of finesse with your hand. When you get to the tip, I don't think you can see it from the camera, but you actually have to turn that in a little bit. Let's slide it back on this cutting board a little bit more. All right, so what I mean by that is at this point right here, you have to make a turn just a little bit. So there is a little bit of room for human error when sharpening these knives, but I've really been able to touch up these kitchen knives. So I usually run it about 10 times on either side. And so what you do at this point is you just take your knife, flip it over, and come back and go 10 on this side, depending on how dull your knife is. And you can see I'm actually making that turn down here, getting closer to me. Okay, so now we're going to take our ceramic side for a little honing. And we'll do about 5 turns on either side here. And basically you just keep doing that until you get to your desired sharpness. Okay, now that we've demonstrated a kitchen knife, let's take a look at a large outdoor survival knife. So I've chosen the SE5 for this demonstration, basically because of the saber grind. Pretty flat, so we're going to use the 20 degree again. So yeah, so SE suggests 16 to 20 degrees. So let's do that, and I'll kind of try to get a different angle so you can see. Now there is that saber grind, but it's still flat to the blade. So what I like to do when I'm sharpening my blades is put a little bit of mark on the edge, just so we can make sure that we are filing the edge and not anywhere else on the knife. So flush against the edge there, the little turn. This knife is still broad enough to use this system with plenty of room to spare. Flip it over. The other side. Like I said, I've already sharpened a lot of these knives, so I'm not gonna sit here and take material off the edge, but for demonstration purposes, just wanted to show you guys. And I will say, so far I really like it. It's a no-nonsense sharpening system. Like I said, a little bit of finesse there towards the tip, just moving in at an angle. Okay. A few more turns with the hone, with the ceramic side. Okay, so I chose a knife with a Scandi grind to demonstrate that this probably isn't the system for that type of grind. And so I broke out my little work sharp right here to show you how we typically sharpen Scandi grinds. So basically we just lay that bevel straight on the sharpening stone and sharpen like that. So here's what happens with this sharpening system. Put that off to the side there. We'll put it on a 20 degree. So if you place your knife on the magnet, you're not going to get a 0 degree, in which this is what this is. So what's going to end up happening is it's probably going to create a secondary bevel. And if you don't want a secondary bevel on a knife, Scandi knife, and create a Scandi vex or a convex, then this is probably what's going to happen there. So I'm not going to even run it across there. I'll just use, you know, a normal sharpener like this for these types of knives. But I just wanted to demonstrate that. We'll move on to some pocket knives. And we'll just start with this CJRB Crag. And now the Crag has a pretty high flat grind, so this should be and it's a broad blade, as you can see. So this is probably going to be a great system for sharpening this knife. And the interesting thing is the tip with the sheep's foot is not going to, I don't have to make hardly any turn on that. See what I'm saying? The diamond sharpener goes all the way to the tip without leaving the surface. There might be just a hair of a turn right there. And I will mention something I didn't mention before is you don't need water or oil for this. So this is a nice thing to kind of throw in your camp box or just keep around the kitchen or whatever. And it's kind of no nonsense. I think they designed this for people like myself who sometimes get a little intimidated by knife sharpening. Have to make sure that thing's secure on there. And hey, I appreciate it because I am no master by any means. So like I said, for people that are just getting into collecting knives and wanting to sharpen their own knives, this may be a really good system for that person. Let's do the OG knife, and I picked the Ontario Rat one because it has just an absolute flat grind. So this should be a wonderful system for sharpening a rat. Also found it very helpful sharpening my Spyderco Para 3 that has a flat grind. Did really well with that. Now you see me making that turn there because of the drop point design. That sheep's foot design, the tip, there's hardly any type of movement there. Okay, as promised, I wanted to show you the challenge of sharpening with this system with a blade shaped like the 945 Osborne. So as you can see, that blade shape there is it's a flat grind, but for attaching purposes there's not much flat through here to attach to. So let me show you what I mean by that. There is a little bit of a wobble there because back here it's not making a flush connection, if that makes sense. So yeah, you know, just a small, probably for knives like that have a different type of blade shape, probably use the Field Sharp. But just to give you a demonstration, it can still do the job, but I don't think that we're getting a true angle there. For one, I'm rolling off the pad there. If you know what I mean, if that makes sense to you. Because, like I mentioned, it's not getting a super flat attachment. You know, if anybody is looking for the type of sharpener that's pretty much sharpening for dummies type system, this is pretty good. It's pretty great, actually. I think I will use it more on the kitchen knives and the outdoor knives that have a flat grind. But a cool concept. So thanks everybody for watching and checking out the Horl 2 knife sharpening system. And to my friend and subscriber that sent it to me, thank you very much for that. And I think we'll get many years of keeping knives sharp, especially around the kitchen with this set. So with that said, everyone have a wonderful weekend. Peace out.